Muy bien, comenzamos, seguimos donde terminamos la última vez. Capítulo 6, Mansión de los Hawkins. Pierce despierta en un manicomio situado en el sótano del Instituto Riverside. Allí conoce a la doctora Golden, una amiga de Bradley que lo ayuda a escapar, mientras deambula por los pasillos de las instalaciones dirigidas por el doctor Fuller. Pierce logra hablar con un tal Francis Sanders. Antes de morir ante los ojos del detective, acusa a Sarah Hawkins de ser la causa de su tormento. Pierce consigue salir del edificio maldito junto con Bradley y Golden. Los compañeros de aventuras deciden utilizar la mansión de Hawkins como escondite.
Who goes there?
Muy bien.
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Perfecto. Acá ni bien terminamos del manicomio, salimos totalmente en una pieza.
Fine. Do what you want.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
¿Qué debería? Hablar con Bradley, hablar con Golden. Encontré una pista. Vamos con... Allí encontré una
I
pista.
met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Está un poquito bajo el volumen. Debería decirle...
Sanders
especie de
started
ataque.
screaming and convulsing.
Convulsing? That doesn't fit with his history.
Then his body got all crooked.
What in God's name? And you were alone with him?
He accused Sarah Hawkins of being the culprit.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Yo soy más de decir la verdad, por más doloroso que sea.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
The The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Y es bastante raro porque moriste frente a nuestros ojos, pero no deberías estar acá. Vamos a salir. Capítulo 6. Residencia de los Sanders. Pierce, Colden y Bradley deciden unir sus fuerzas para resolver el caso de Sarah Hawkins. Encuentran un rastro nuevo que seguir, el de Francis Sanders, un coleccionista de arte y amigo del artista que murió delante de Pierce. El detective va a su casa con la intención de hablar con la viuda acerca del vagabundo que mencionó el hombre antes de morir.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Prefiero no se me
What
olvide.
happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Esto en su momento yo había elegido, pero no me gustó el tono. Voy a acusarla a Fuller.
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Arrancamos por el principio.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Muy bien. Tengo como 4 puntos. Investigación puede ser el máximo, pero no, todavía no. Este también. Fuerza mucho, no necesito. Voy a ir poniendo un poco de cada uno. Perfecto. Irene Sanders, profesión ninguna. Es evidente que hace a Sarah Hawkins responsable de la muerte de su marido. Pero lo que más me intriga de Irene Sanders es la extraña mezcla de tristeza e insensibilidad que exhibe. Sarah había asumido la pérdida de su marido mucho antes de su espantosa muerte en el sótano del Instituto Riverside. 5. El inventario. Conocimiento, bueno, muchas cosas.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Sí que feo.
Did she really care for him after all?
Estimada señora, por la presente acusa el recibo de la carta en la que nos exige el cuerpo de su fallecido marido. Siento informado de que no puedo dar cumplimiento a su petición. En el momento de su ingreso firmó usted un documento de descargo donde me otorga permiso para disponer de él. Y le transmito mis máximas condolencias a Thomas Fuller. Previamente renunció.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Bueno, había una relación entre ellos.
A house of artists.
A ver este.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Pronto lo vamos a descubrir. Muy pronto.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. did that make her feel? Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? A shambler. I need to see it.
Qué dolor. Arrancarse los ojos. Vamos a ver, investigar qué onda. Si hay algo en la casa. Ahora hay acá. No, acá no hay nada. Cerrado. Acá no hay nada.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
A ver.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Bueno, a ver qué más encontramos.
I could use one of those.
Esta es la oficina de...
A strange Amerindian pendant. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Querida Francis, te suplico que renuncies a la idea de poseer este maldito cuadro. Si en algo valoras nuestra amistad, líbrame del peso de esa culpa. Me niego a ser la responsable de tu caída. Te lo suplico, mi querido amigo, olvídate del vagabundo. Tu amiga Sarah Hawkins. O sea, quería advertirle, pero el hombre quería...
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Sí, claro.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
¿Otra pintura?
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
Qué asustado.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
No, sos una dulzura de persona.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Bueno. Empecemos con esto. ¿Dónde estás? El cuchillo. Que pronto te voy a necesitar.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Exactamente aquí estás.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Debe ser que son macabramente hermosas, pero bastante inquietante. Bueno, acá viene el momento crítico de esta cosa horrible que es el vagabundo. Bien. Ahora tengo que...
What the hell was that?
huir. Huir como si no fuera un mañana. ¿Dónde está? Vamos a hacerlo ultra mega rápido.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Vamos rápido, 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 rápido. No, no me queda. Qué feo que es el bicho.
What's the matter with you?
Qué bueno que
You
ya
sure you
sabía.
won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Uf, obvio que sí. Te perdiste todo. Menos mal que estas cosas ya las sabía, por eso fue mucho más rápido. Se no es un sufrimiento. Creo que decirle no tiene mucho sentido.
It's nothing. I think I just drank too much.
That goes without saying. If you can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, then you're in real trouble.
Me encanta que yo puse. No, he bebido mucho. ¿No he oído nada? ¿Sabía lo del monstruo? Pero si estoy diciendo. No tiene sentido esta respuesta.
My arm was disappearing into this painting. You must have seen that.
I saw you put your trembling hands on a collector's artifact. Where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Tengo que hablar con Drake.
The creature. This dagger was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Pobrecita ella. Bueno, capítulo 6. La librería sin nombre. El vagabundo resulta ser mucho más que una simple pintura de Sarah Hawkins. Una criatura gigantesca sale del cuadro y ataca a Pierce. Tras una dura pelea, el detective consigue devolverla al interior de la pintura. Más tarde descubre que la hada que utilizó para repeler a la criatura lleva a mano de Sanders a través de Algernon Drake, el propietario de la librería sin nombre. Pierce decide hacer una visita al librero.
Where is the bookseller?
Vamos a chusmear un poco, a ver si hay algo. Libros hay a montones.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Acá no hay nada. Una más de medicina. Otra más de medicina. A ver por acá. Ah, cierto. Haber liado.
What happened here?
A ver si hay algo más antes de ir a la reconstrucción.
A strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
Creo que nada más.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Se rompió la mano. Un tonto.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
No, acá no hay nada. Acá creo que tampoco. No. Continuamos por acá.
What killed all these animals?
Qué feo.
What happened that made the burglar flee before? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What the? Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Y que estoy poniendo... Perdón.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
¿Qué puso en esa caja fuerte? ¿Hay algo más? Ah, acá.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Listo, no hay más. La clave de todo es eso.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Aquí parece haber una página oculta. Se puede leer. Si alguien encuentra estas memorias, no cabe duda de que tendré problemas. Mi única esperanza es que mi cuerpo y mis huesos siguen en este plano de la realidad y podrán ser recuperados y quemados. La urna funeraria habrá de ser entregada a mi señora madre, si conservo aún la lucidez. El siguiente mensaje es de crucial importancia. Si alguien lee estas líneas, demuestra una agudeza comparable a la mía, podrá aspirar a hacerse con mi más preciada posesión. Se encuentra en mi caja fuerte, con la combinación repartida en 3 cilindros, escondidas donde se encuentra la vida y los estudios en el mundo griego. Cada cilindro está numerado, a pesar de que, tal como afirma el famoso autor, el orden es el placer de la razón y el caos el deleite de la imaginación. En efecto, a despecho de mi predilección por el caos ordenado, debo reconocer que la razón prevalece al final. Si, por ventura, una persona, un genio más bien, llegara a elevarse a la altura de mi intelecto y encontrarse la combinación de la caja, debo pedirle que confíe su contenido a mi admirado colega, el profesor Armitage de la Universidad de Miskatonic. Ese contenido no es solo un vasto compendio de conocimiento, sino un arma demasiado peligrosa como para arriesgarse a de que caiga en malas manos. Confío en que dicha persona sea capaz de apreciar en su justa medida el peligro que representa y sepa actuar en consecuencia. En cualquiera de los casos, yo no estaré allí para guiar sus pasos ni para sufrir las consecuencias de sus actos. Creo que es un poco egocéntrico. Un poco nada más.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Esta llave con el símbolo arcano es la única protección para tu psique. Tiene forma de medallón cilíndrico y cuelga de una gruesa cadena. Hace siglos se grabaron en su centro la estrella y la rama, cuyo propósito es mantener a raya la fuerza de los primigenios. Todo apunta a que fue Charles Hawkins quien se lo arrebató su último propietario, un anticuario egipcio. En los recortes de prensa donde se menciona el caso, la fecha del robo coincide con el último viaje de Hawkins al El Cairo. Aún está por ver si conoce la auténtica naturaleza de la reliquia. Procura averiguarlo. Muy bien.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Ahora hay que escucharlos. Vamos con el primero.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Ok, este es el 9 claramente. Este es
I
el que...
finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
A ver. Los peones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 5 peones.
The queen has little protection.
5.
The chalice of knowledge.
Tengo que contar los rubíes rojos. Vamos a poner desde acá. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, ¿no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, ¿no? 5, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 8, 9. No es esto. 1, a menos que cuente el caballo también. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 capaz. O todas las piezas, no, todas las piezas no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 8. ¿Todas las peonas? No. Ah, esa no es un peón. Es un alfil. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Allá hay otro. ¿Es un peón? No, no es un peón.
The queen has little protection.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4. No, tampoco.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Claro, los peones. Dos. Ah, capaz que son los peones blancos. Dos. ¿Es dos? Sí, tiene sentido. Porque si peones no queda nada en el tablero.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bueno, si no me cansé y voy probando todos y cada uno de los números. Porque 5 y 9 sé que están bien. Ahora en 3. Capítulo 8. Instituto de Riverside. En la librería sin nombre persigue la pista de un intento de robo frustrado y descubre que Charles Hawkins es responsable del delito. Vince abre la caja fuerte del librero y encuentra lo que este y Sarah Hawkins habían escondido. Un libro encuadernado en piel humana que parece llamar al detective. Cuando lo abre, su mente se proyecta en otro cuerpo. Pero yo ni me acuerdo de esta parte.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is
La doctora
deteriorating.
Colden.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Vamos a ver poca información sobre el paciente.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
Hay que ver el historial médico, primero que nada.
Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
A ver sus síntomas.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down. His skin losing its color. His body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
No, ya no.
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
La
Did you
administradora.
inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
¿Y qué
Very
tendrá
well.
que ser?
I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky.
Horrible.
30-year-old subject, severe hypothermia, erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums, necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
Está horrible.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
De todo.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier,
He seemed to feel better?
yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes, they can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
Tiene algo en
Did you
el
examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Conclusión. Está
I
mutando.
almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
Son preocupantes.
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
Yo me ocupo. No te preocupes.
Chronic insomnia. Like half the island.
Doctor, please. My chest.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Pobrecito.
Hay fever. What's he doing here?
No sé ni qué es eso.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
¿Qué pasó para que te rompas la espalda así?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back?
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Claramente es una mentira.
Mrs. Sanders?
Ah, mira, la señora Sanders.
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
Todo un milagro.
Intoxication from breathing organic vapors.
A ver, esta.
Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Acá no hay nadie. Acá tampoco.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination.
Vamos a ver.
He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
You did good work. The tranquilizer is kicked in. Now you can disinfect and bandage his wounds.
Thank you, Doctor. And as to his weight loss?
I'll prescribe an antifungal treatment for his dysgeusia. In the meantime, feed him intravenously.
It'll be done.
Ah, ahora sí. Me faltaba ver las manos. Por...
What is the boiler room key doing here?
Bueno, la llave... La voy a necesitar después.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
Pero...
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Ethan,
Marie,
what are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
Le voy a recetar.
Tell me your symptoms.
I have headaches. And I can't sleep.
Do you suffer from insomnia?
No. Look, I don't want you to laugh at me.
Ethan, if you don't trust me, then who?
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
Yo diría solo está cansada, pero estaría minimizando. Vamos a poner que es alguna dolencia.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out. Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
Vamos a ver acá.
Where did my fiancé go?
I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
No sé quién es tu pareja.
Dr. Colden.
Bueno, no decís mucho.
Dr. Colden, we need you at once in Dormitory B.
¿Por qué?
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I've done an exam. Deborah is looking after him.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge. Anyhow, they're still waiting, and I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
I saw him, yes. It's always the same thing. They bring them up, without any explanation, with a multitude of self-inflicted injuries. We take care of the wounds, and then they leave. Each time, I feel like I'm sending them back to hell.
Their affliction is not our responsibility. You cannot save everybody, Doctor.
Y claramente en el sótano.
This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory.
Bueno,
Please, the fewer interruptions there are, the faster I'll be finished.
bueno, te quería cerrar la puerta. Pero si no quieres, ¿está bien? Si no quieres, no quieres.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan.
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine
We've been
that she
waiting to be
doesn't dare
restocked
say
for
a thing.
weeks.
That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just wait to see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
Acá.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
A ver la cocina.
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Muy bien. ¿Hay algo interesante? No, solamente la parte de Missy. En este momento Pierce está... El árbol de Pierce, de las habilidades están bloqueadas.
We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment.
Qué situación más espantosa.
She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again. giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Parecida. Bueno, a ver. La llave de la caldera.
The key to the boiler room.
Todavía no
Not
puedo.
where I expected to find it.
Todavía no me deja.
I don't have any business in the boiler room.
Sí tienes. A ver acá. Hay algo interesante. No, no hay nada interesante. Más libros de medicina.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctor. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
Sos un encanto. Bueno, ahora sí. Ahora sí me deja, creo que sí. Sí, ahora sí.
The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait.
Muy bien. Acá no hay nada. Entramos. Cerremos la puerta. Creo que necesita más fuerza, querido.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
¿Dónde la puedo encontrar?
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up.
Por acá.
I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
¿Dónde estará la herramienta? Ya ni me acuerdo dónde quedó.
She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one
It's
who pays.
temperamental, if I understand correctly.
It's so unfair.
¿Dónde puedo encontrar una herramienta? Acá no creo que pueda encontrarla. Acá tampoco. Sí, acá. Llave inglesa, perfecto. Pues hay que cerrar la puerta. Muy bien. Cortamos el agua.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
No, este no. Aquí tienes.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time.
Pobrecita. Muy bien, ahora sí puedo entrar.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here.
Acá no hay nada.
The Stendhal syndrome. Of course. This is where Fuller found his diagnosis for Francis Sanders.
Acá nada.
Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right.
Ahora vamos a escucharlo.
Conclusions. Session number 17. Patient? Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusion nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the products
This finger belonged to a woman. Why keep it here? Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key.
¿De qué estar hablando?
But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Why is Ethan on medication?
Bien. Encontré todo.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Ahora sí.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection.
Parece que Todo gira en torno a Sarah Hawkins.
I must go back to the basement.
Hay que volver al sótano. Siempre hay que cerrar la puertita. ¿Qué está sangre? Claramente quiere que vayas por esa puerta, pero... Chao, doctora Cthulhu.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Oh, I swear I'll shoot!
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead!
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait! No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
No, porque al final... Aunque no vendría nada mal tu ayuda. Pero sinceramente, no me aportas nada.
No, you stay out of my way.
You won't get rid of me that easily.
Marie Colden might die while you're still talking. Move!
No, ayudar en lo más mínimo, así que...
Feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head.